Alright, so here's the character so far. This is a hardcore solo account found character. I named him this time Shirley because this is my third attempt at hardcore, and I finally managed to get through the campaign to endgame with this character. I knew it was possible because the build was really strong when I was playing it, but I was dying to some unfortunate mistakes and like things that I didn't expect to kill me and such. But this time we actually made it through the whole campaign, and I wanted to share it with you guys. We're at level 70 currently, grinding the endgame monolith system. I had just gotten through the Black Sun monolith timeline, and probably at the end of the video, we're going to go ahead and challenge the boss. So I managed to get 75 cap reses really early on. Obviously, that becomes a little hard to manage because when you replace your gear, you need to make sure that you have all the resistances still, which has been kind of a hard time doing that. But I somehow managed to get all my resistances fixed after upgrading my gear. So it was some better stuff than when I was leveling because we're using bases that only drop in endgame, like these two right here. Um, and we're sitting at like 51% like stationary idle armor percentage mitigation right now, which is pretty insane. 2500 armor. And I also managed to pick this up during the last monolith timeline I did. I believe it's from Stolen Lance, I think. It's Stolen Lance, then we did Blood, Frost, and Death, and now I'm back to Black Sun to go up here. Um, And yeah, during the story on Lance, we killed the boss and he dropped Throne of Ambition, which gives us 2% more armor per stack of ambition. We gain ambition when we hit a boss or rare enemy every 1 second, which is just insane. We managed to get our armor up to like 70% plus when we hit enough mobs at 20 stacks is like near 80%, which is insane. And we're sitting at 35% move speed, 1600 health, the defenses of this build are absolutely insane. We want to stack as much strength and vitality as possible, but also attunement, because attunement improves our, I think it's our minions, like Forge Strike and stuff like that, as well as I think Healing Hands also scales off of it, which is awesome. So for the gear, we're kind of just following the build guide here. We got this axe near end game of the campaign, which is giving me increased damage over time, melee attack speed, and ignite on hit. Sadly, we got kind of a dud roll on the necrotic penetration since we don't use necrotic damage, but I could try to re-roll that now that I have some more scrolls and runes and stuff. On the helmet, we're rocking as much vitality as possible, as well as increased health, increased armor percentage. Armor-wise, we have a really nice base with 280 armor, and then strength vit, health armor, flat. I just got these boots upgraded like a second ago. The base isn't so good. It has really low armor, but it makes up for that by having a T5 increased percent armor roll on the suffix, as well as hybrid health. This giving us flat health and percent health, as well as 16% increased movement speed, which actually rolled with 16%, which is crazy. Our gloves is probably our weakest thing right now. I just had them because they rolled with these three stats, plus chance to shred armor on hit as a T6 or whatever. I was like, ah, that's good enough. Might as well use them for now until I get an upgrade. So I need a gloves upgrade first and foremost, as well as a belt upgrade. This belt is terrible, but it does what I need it to do. It gives me the lightning and cold res, so belt needs to go soon. The relic doesn't really matter too much. I'm just using it for the percent armor base as well as the health roll on it. Need to upgrade that as well. Got some rings to fix resistances with elemental res. This one's really nice because it gives us damage over time and minion health, as well as flat health for myself. And the amulet we just threw on because I needed necrotic and poison res, and this one rolled really high necrotic and poison res. So overall, we fixed our resistances through idols and through mainly our accessories and belt and such. But yeah, it's been going pretty well. And then let me just share with you guys what we're doing with the skills. It's pretty standard, the same that as Maxroll has it. I didn't fully understand what was going on with Maxroll's choices at the start, but after using it more, I started to understand the play style, and it's very strong. It's The playstyle's like or melee, so it's always kind of scary, right? It's always scary being melee. And we don't do a lot of direct damage ourselves. This is a damage over time ailment stacking build with minions, whereas I'm used to playing more direct damage builds or doing damage myself. We just want to summon forged weapons with our abilities and let them stack the ailments for us. We're getting the thing where our forged strike has no cooldown but increased mana cost. I started out doing it this way with multi-strike. I went to this node and I used this for a while. Uh, and I was like wondering, oh, are we just like trying to spam forward strike as much as possible? That makes sense, I guess. We just multi-strike until it procs forward strike and then use forward strike ourselves for some big burst damage. And then I realized we're doing like an ailment build and we actually only want to use forward strike to summon forged weapons. So all we want to do is we want to get 4 stacks of multi-strikes armament because we get like increased stacks here and stuff. And we get that because we get more melee physical damage plus armor per stack, which is insane. So we're just stacking tons of armor and tons of damage. We get damage per armor here as well, which is insane. And basically, we just want to keep our stacks as much as possible. And then when we get 4 stacks, we use Forge Strike on a large group of enemies, summon a bunch of forged weapons. We get guaranteed 4 forged weapons when we use Forge Strike because of our stacks from armaments on multi-strike. Plus, we have another, like, what, 25% chance to summon them on hit with this. So if you're hitting, like, a pack of 10 mobs, there's a 25% chance per each of those mobs being hit. Plus, the guaranteed 4, you can get, like, all of your forged weapons all at once sometimes, which is nice. We use Void Cleave actually to just buff our minions. You want to hit through your minions with Hellish Chasm, Molten Blaze, and Scorching Path. Give them Molten Infusion. Max this out so that we get a bunch of fire damage buff with it and ignite chance. And then we're grabbing area here. Most of the area, don't care about the damage too much. And then cooldown recovery speed, armor shred, just to help whittle down their physical resistance so we can do more bleed damage. Um, and then this is the most important thing I think for sustainability with this build. I was struggling really badly with like healing and stuff. I was taking a lot of damage, not able to heal a whole lot. As soon as you get this, that all goes away and you're just like so tanky and so comfortable. I've never had such like a tanky, comfortable build before. You grab Cleric's Hammer first, and then that basically just lets you heal on hit with any melee ability. It gives you like this little buff for healing hands, which heals you over time. And then you grab these 3 nodes down here for increased healing effectiveness, max that out, then get this for upfront healing maxed, and then get this for a regen buff. Actually, you want to grab this one. You want to go here, then down here, and then lead into this. But these 3 nodes are what gives you the healing. This one confused me a little bit because obviously I knew that we wanted to go for the enemy damage taken 30%. That just gives us more damage against enemies. But I didn't know why we were investing so heavily into it because I thought that we would be taking too much damage by grabbing this because it gives like a reduced health regen. Uh, but that's just like affects regen. It doesn't like drain your health or anything. And it leads us to get dodge rating 3 here, which is really useful because we have armor stack and then we get another like 17% dodge rating chance, which helps a lot with mitigating damage. And I thought we were wanting to go for warp time here because we benefit really heavily off of attack speed with this build, but Maxroll doesn't suggest that at all. I'm grabbing 2 points of it just because, well, I will be grabbing 2 points of it just because I think it's more helpful than what they do. I think they go like up here or something, or grab one of these. I'm not really sure, but that's where I'm going to go with mine. I think it's more useful. Um, but yeah, you just use volatile reversal on cooldown just to do more damage to enemies in melee range. So just there's a big boss that you're struggling to kill, use volatile reversal, and then also void cleave for your minions, and they'll kind of shred everything. Like I said earlier, the playstyle isn't directly us doing damage. We just want to stack armament with multi-strike, and then we want to press E or forward strike to summon the minions. When we get 12 minions, which is our cap right now, then we just kind of sit back, relax, watch them do damage, buff them occasionally. Um, So you can kind of see more of that through the forge guard tree. We get the folded steel here, which gives maximum forged weapons +2, so we get 12 instead of 10. Bunch of damage for them. Everything else we grab on the trees is mostly for survivability, like Might, Guardian. I grabbed Void Knight's Abyssal Endurance really early because there's a lot of enemies that do high physical and high void damage early on. So if you can cap void res and physical res really early on, you're gonna breeze through the campaign. Something I should have done earlier was grab Defiance 8 as soon as possible. I only got it to 5 so far because I don't need the elemental res anymore. But that can help you cap elemental res really early as well. You get that up to 8. And then, yeah, pretty much everything else is just survivability. The Maxroll guide ends at this point. I'm going to put 5 points into Iron Attunement to give me more attunement armor, minion armor, but also the 5-point bonus lets us, I guess, reduce damage over time effects with our armor mitigation, which I think will help a lot with like poison and bleed, which are two of the things that kill us the most often with a build like this. But yeah, everything else is pretty standard stuff. So let's go hop into this next boss here and see what happens. Yeah, I'm really sad I lost my Falconer. It was really strong in 1.0. Oh, they give me minions, or they give me enemies to summon minions off of at the start. That's really nice. Yeah, we got 7. It should be enough for a bit. Well, he's already starting with this. For this, we want to just move around in a circle. Don't try to damage him too much since our minions can do all that for us. Dodge these as much as possible. We have a lot of movement speed, so we should use it. That's the one that one-shots you. You want to try to run towards him. Going pretty well so far. We got 10 weapons, so we can get max now. What you do the lines to get ready to dodge. There we go. Wait. Wait, wait, wait. Oh, fuck. That's a bad chain. We need to resummon forged weapons ASAP here. That fire just does a lot of damage to my minions. Get 4 stacks of armament, so we get our armor bonus. Move out of that. Dodge out again. Volatile reversal. 30% more damage. Void cleave, and he's dead. GG. That was really easy. 17 stacks of ambition as well. That was like what, 140, or I can't even math right now. Whatever 17 times 2 is. % more armor, which is insane, and fire damage. So in boss fights, this thing just carries us really hard. Man, that was a really clean run though. That's probably the easiest kill I've had on him before. Obviously, it's not like the highest damage. We don't have like the best gear right now. But the damage was good enough for dealing indirect damage with minions, you know. We're basically just waiting until enough bleed and ignite stacks apply to the boss, and then he just starts melting like crazy. Especially with our Void Cleave buff and our Volatile Reversal debuff on him. But yeah. Wow, we got the health as well. Always grab the health blessing. More health is more survivability.